Yeah, hi.
Hello, sir. We are so gratified to have you here. And CSI V Talks thanks you gratefully for joining in on our podcast.
Not a problem.
Without any further ado, let us start our
Sure.
podcast.
Sure, Vanilla. Happy to get started
Thank you, sir.
whenever you are ready.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, hello, listeners. We know when ignited by knowledge, a revolution emerges, placing the future at our forefront. Technology is a pivotal force which places our future in the front, and we created AI to boost our smarts, but now we are leaning upon it to make our brains even smarter. Here we are joining the luminary Anis Merchant on an innovation odyssey with over 26 plus years of expertise in shaping the future of tech. As the force behind digital and applied AI at Course for Intelligence, Anis crafts solutions that defy 500 fortune norms. He's a speaker, guest professor, blogger, himself a podcast host, and an author whose book, Prompt Engineering Mastery, illuminates the essential world of prompt engineering in AI language models. Sir, our university is gratified to have you here as our host, and I am Vanilla Kushi, welcoming you all enthusiastic listeners to a curated journey guided by this tech visionary. So, our team watched your TED Talks video, and we were in awe of the way you related accidents into shaping up human beings, and you faced every circumstances that you had in your life head on. Were you always this person, or did a significant life moment made you this way?
No, interesting question, Vanilla. Meaning, yes, there have been moments in my life. There have been many multiple accidents. That's what my TED Talk talks about. Uh, I could only speak
Yes, sir.
about a couple of them. But yes, there have been, many of them. And I feel like each of those events or moments have been like a chisel on my body, on my mind, on my perception in terms of how I behave. And those chisels have made me who I am today and helped me be where I am today. So I'm very grateful to those accidents. I don't repent, I don't think too much. But yes, there is the power of accidents, there is a power of these moments and events. And I would say they continue to happen, they don't stop. Events continue to happen in our lives. So I take them and with all my heart and embrace them with all my heart because each of those moments are a great moment for me to learn.
Yes, sir. We respect that, and we see that you're a jack of all trades, and you always seize an opportunity to learn. So, coming to our forefront AI, we see AI being an important aspect in the lives of many at this point. We ask Alexa to pay our bills, we surf online to shop our belongings, and even we ask ChatGPT to make our presentations better. But the basic meaning of AI is still not known to many people. So, to a layman, how would you explain AI?
See, I explain AI to my 8-year-old or a 10-year-old at home almost being an assistant which can help you in your day-to-day life. That's how I explain it. Now, that assistant can do many things, it's capable of many things. It's capable of doing good things and it's capable of doing bad things. So, you need to ensure that you are
Yes.
aware of the capabilities and the abilities of this assistant. So yeah, that's how I would explain it to a layman.
Yes, sir. So we see that the pandemic has drastically changed how we view AI. We saw top tech organizations including AI into their company for the smooth functioning. So what notable changes do you see in the forthcoming future about the augmentation of AI in such companies?
Uh, Whenever there's going to be drastic and there's going to be significant changes which is going to happen, which we will continue to see and foresee. It's hard to predict. Are they programming? The answer is no. What ChatGPT really did is it made uh, AI accessible to everyone, and including the executives. If I step back in early 2022, I've been in the industry for quite some time. If you talk about AI to executives, the CXO community, nobody had experienced AI firsthand touch and feel, right? And with
Yes.
ChatGPT, they could now touch and feel AI, which really changed the game, which really opened everybody's mindset. How can I use it for everyday use? Like you said earlier, you're using it, ChatGPT, to build your presentations. You were never able to do that. Let me tell you, by the way, when ChatGPT is not new, it's been there. The earlier ChatGPT versions were available, but they were only available through API. I was using a platform called Jasper much early on. I was using it since 2019. I was using Jasper, and I could use and I could see the power of AI much early on. What happened with ChatGPT 3 and 3.5 is it became open to everybody,
Yeah.
and that's how, again, we were few privileged people. When I say few privileged, we had to pay for it. It was not
Yeah.
free. So everybody couldn't afford it. When ChatGPT unleashed its free version, everybody could use it. So AI assistant is going to become a big thing in this year, where every organization is going to think about how can I build assistant for everything, which means that the second piece, which is automation, we are going to see a significant rise in automation. We've not seen much of it last year. We are going to see more happening this year. Most of the tasks, I would not say jobs, but tasks are going to get automated or enhanced with using generative AI solutions. And last but not the least is there's going to be some colossal failures also, which is going to put us two steps back. But that colossal failures will
We can
help us move
always
10
learn
steps
from
ahead.
them.
Yeah, will help
Yes,
us
sir.
move 10 steps ahead. And when I talk about these colossal failures, is, an AI system going rogue, probably, or we breaching some on the responsible AI, some
Yeah.
aspects of responsible AI.
So, AI developing personality, I had a question. We hear the term birds of a feather flock together, a proverb in English where like minded people come together to work towards achieving a specific goal. And right now, we are using AI as an important resource in order to help these human beings achieve the goals in a better way. But in the future, can we see AI being a equal team player as the human being in that team in making those decisions and not just be a resource?
Uh, Definitely, yes. We would be seeing AI not as an equal player. It's too, as I said, I cannot predict. I don't know where technology is going to shape up. See, it's not just going to be AI, right? There are going to be a lot of pieces which are going to come together. I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a big fantasy movies fan, I would say. So if you think about Tony Stark on how he leveraged AI to
Yes.
make Jarvis an equal, the Vision, which was there, right? Which
Yes,
was
sir.
a version of Jarvis. Now, was Jarvis Vision equal? It was superior to human beings, but it stood along with humans to fight an external threat. But that's still too far out, I would say.
He,
But we will have comparables, I would say, to 70 and 80% human capabilities, where probably in the future we would have AI performing at that level. Now, that innate need for human beings to do more and more and more, right? We've reached moon, we want to reach Mars, send human beings to Mars, uh, which will be leveraged by technology. And for technology to collaborate and augment human capabilities is going to be more and more. So as you said, feathers of a bird flock together. It is going to happen. We will be leveraging AI, like you and I today. We are talking about this, right? There is AI built into this. If it
yes.
wasn't, then we would
We
not be
wouldn't be
able
able
to
to
do
communicate.
communicate what we see today. So technology, I would use a word larger technology than just AI, is
Yeah.
going to come together to enhance humans' capability more and more. Uh, so yeah, I would say definitely. But is it going to be equal? Probably not yet. In the next 2 to 3 years, I may be proven wrong, which I will be happy to. But it's still time for it.
Coming back to prompt engineering, we wanted to know that did you face a challenge in fine tuning the questions that you asked to the AI model? Because people keep changing the way that they talk and ask things over time, right? So, how did you face that challenge?
No, prompt engineering is an art than a science. right?
Yeah.
And people, I have seen so much of content. I have also written it in my the ebook which I have published about the right structure for writing a prompt, but it's a structure. Now if I give you that same structure, vanilla, and if I take that same structure, the way I would write it, the way you would write it will be very different, and the output will be, may have 80% same content or same output, but the 20% will differ, and that's what makes us human being, right? At the end of it,
Yes.
you and I may study same curriculum, and I'm sure in your college you're studying along with other colleagues of yours. Y'all are y'all are going through the same curriculum, y'all are going through the same process, but how you have an output versus your colleagues have an output is two different things. It's not the same.
Yes, sir.
uh,
Yes.
can you tell me any of your batchmate have written the same answer, until unless, I will use the word, you all have copied ditto word to word. If you haven't copied it to word, if you can ask your teacher, like you looked all of us and everybody wrote the same paper, until unless it's an MCQ, that's a different thing. But if you have been, I know your generation has forgotten to write long, long answers. We used to write a lot during our days. We didn't have MCQs many times,
Yes, sir.
um, but it's different, right? And that's what is prompt engineering for me. It helps us still be human, though it has a structure. So if you think in real life, uh, we all have governance, we all have some rules at our home, some rules outside. When you're driving a car, when you're walking the street, you have those uh, checkered marks that you can only walk across the street through, that like the zebra crossings. If you see a red light, stop. If you see a green light, you can walk. Prompt engineering is the same way. You have a structure, you follow the structure, but how you behave, do you walk fast, do you walk slow, do you use the zebra crossing or do you do jaywalking, it's all on you. So
Yes.
prompt engineering is like that. It helps us still be humans in many ways. Let us craft. You're too getting bored, right? You don't want to follow the structure. You just want to give one answer, and it happens with me. When I use Midjourney, I will just give a two or a three-letter word prompt or a sentence prompt, and that's it. I would want to see, sometimes I'm in a mood, let AI build its fantasy, right? But when I'm looking for
Yeah.
something very specific, I would go and give a more detailed input. So it all depends upon you know what you want to achieve. But yeah, prompt engineering structure is there, but it helps us be who we are.
Yes, sir. So, we are talking about the augmentation of AI into our workspace, and we are hearing the term hyperproductive humans a lot these days. So, can you please shed some light upon it?
Yeah, meaning, I don't know. I often ask when I'm going to go to many colleges for guest lectures and all of that, and when I ask a lot of students that who's using Chat GPT, they shyly put their hand, and I would say, why are you doing that? Why are you shy about it? In fact,
Yeah.
you should be really putting up your hand and saying, I use it. And I'm telling you, I use it every day. Literally, ChatGPT has become a great friend for me. I use it every day. So we have got productive. The good news is, people talk about 70 hours of work, 80 hours of work, 90 hours of work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen those trends. Uh, we are getting productive, but we are not burning ourselves down and using AI.
Yes.
Earlier, if you had to build a powerpoint, you would be spending hours and hours and hours to construct and structure the powerpoint. Now, I'm not saying you don't still spend hours. Yes, ChatGPT will help you build that structure, but you've got the structure. Now it's just your own creativity, how you fill it up. So same way, I use it every day, and it's helped me become better at my job. It's helped me focus on things, help me be more creative, help me be more give me time to do things like this, for example, this podcast.
Yes.
uh, other else, I'm sure I would be thinking a lot about my other work, which would have taken me a lot of time. So yeah, we have got productive. some people say, oh no, it's added more work. I would say then you're using it incorrectly, or they're not using it smartly, and they are not using it at all. I have seen people who are completely against it. I can tell you my 15-year-old who's at home, he's using it. My 10-year-old, my niece, my nephews are using it day to day. So not only your generation but the generation after you, who's already being brewing in, they are being born, and they're living AI life every day. We At our age, we were living the mobile life. I have seen a great transition from the box TV to an LCD to a landline to a mobile phone. uh, y'all have not seen those major transitions yet. We have seen those major. One of the biggest transition y'all are seeing is the leverage of AI, which is a fascinating.
Yes.
So hyper productivity is going to be amazing phenomena for human beings, and I would say we have just started scratching our surface. There is a stat already. In the next By 2025, I have read it somewhere. I can't really tell you the source because I don't remember it. But I remember these fascinating quotes like, we will probably by 2025 will only be required to work 3.5 days of working. Now that's scary if you think
Yes,
about
it.
it. Sometimes on the weekend we are just lazing around, right? We don't know what to do. Now imagine if you get 3.5 days to do what you want to do. Maybe get paid the same amount, but do whatever you want to do for 3.5 days. That is scary. And it's fun also because it will give a lot of time for us to be creative, explore nature, and focus on our fitness, focus on our health. So hyper productivity is here to stay, and I have become more productive last year, and I continue to be more productive this year as well as we
Yes,
have
sir.
stepped into 2024.
Yeah, we saw your videos on YouTube talking about work life balance and productivity. And I think we'll get to be more human if we get a little bit of time to focus upon other things. Now, you're
Yes.
also on your LinkedIn showed interest on multimodal networks, multimodal GANs, sorry. So, can you tell us about the integration of diverse information and how will it help in understanding the different domains that are present today?
No, no, great point. So, uh, let me ask you a question to explain multimodal.
Okay.
Right? When was
Yes,
the
sir.
last time you went on a vacation?
It's been years actually.
Okay, so you're studying. So let's say if I have to tell you, Vanilla, you're getting a free ticket. Okay,
Yes,
where
sir.
would you want to go? Where would you want to go?
I would go to New York in a heartbeat.
Okay, in a heartbeat, you will go to Manhattan, New York. Okay, great. Now New York, you have to go. So let's plan that travel. Okay, sitting here.
Yes, sir.
So first thing is you have to book tickets.
Hmm.
Yeah, and get your
Yeah.
visa, which is the second most
Yes.
important. Those are the two most important pieces. How would you go about
Yes.
doing that?
I would well, contact someone in my family who has done that process before, or family friends. And if I don't find anything, then I'll go.
And consultancy to book your
Yes.
tickets and book your visa, right? Let's say.
Yes.
Now you've got that figured out. Now you want to know where should I stay in
Yeah.
Manhattan or New York to explore New York completely. What will be the sources you will go ahead and find information from?
Um, I follow a couple of Instagram pages that focus upon New York and its surroundings and people who roam around the streets suggesting you places to visit. So I would go to that, or I would go to sites like Airbnb. And if I have a family there, then I'll happily stay with them, excluding the
Okay.
charges. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll try to maximize savings so that you can spend on the experience there, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you you have to plan your day. Let's say it's a 7-day itinerary.
Okay.
Okay. How would you define that itinerary?
I value experience more than materialistic things. So maybe places that I always wanted to visit as a child that I've read in my novels or watched in movies. I would go to those places first. Say at Central Park or the Met Gala Museum or even Taylor Swift's house, for example. I would just
So
visit
you're a
those
Swiftie.
places.
So you're a
Yes,
Swiftie
I'm a
too.
Swiftie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe learn about the history because New York is a cultural place and it's diverse. It's like India. You can find Indians all over there too. And I would also want to visit the Empire State Building and all those law firms and tech hub of that place. And maybe learn something new about the city. Maybe go to places that I haven't heard before ever. Ask a tour guide or even ask a random person on the street in a safe
Sure.
way.
Sure. Now, I know I can go on with this, by the way, right? And start peeling more
Yes.
and more onion from it.
Yes.
Uh, if you just now take a step back and your only answers, right? I'm not going to make up anything. Like right from the ticket booking to planning to going there, right? And defining the itinerary, which was the last question I asked you. You spoke about many sources. You spoke about
Yes.
many types of data. You spoke about many outputs which you will seek. That's what multimodal is, Vanilla, right? You're
Yes.
not just like you just think about it. If I give input to a system today and it basically takes videos, images, text, data, structured data as an input, processes it, and let's say develops a 7-day itinerary. Okay, Apple's Vision Pro is coming along, okay, which is a VR headset. Probably it's due in the next 1 month. So now when you think about the near future you spoke about using quantum tech, if you can actually go ahead and experience yourself walking in New York streets, not leaving the confinement of your home. Okay, that's the output.
Yes,
Like
sir.
you have Vanilla walking the 7th Avenue or the 5th Avenue, the Park Avenue. From 7th Avenue, you're taking a walk right up to Central Park, and enjoying the city bikes and taking a ride within city bikes. Right? I'm just making you. If you just think
Yeah.
visually, you can
Yeah.
experience it. Right? Now think
Yeah.
about it. Your avatar is actually doing that for you using the Vision Pro headset. So the question or the thought which I just gave, that's the multimodal output.
Yeah.
You can experience, you can feel the birds chirping, you can feel there's a zoo in Central Park, you can actually see the different animals, the beautiful animals, you can see a couples holding hand in Central Park. Like while I'm just talking, I'm sure those visions or those visuals are coming in your mind, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's what multimodal is, and that's where the future is going to be. It's not only just the input but also the output of how the processing will happen. And yes, there is a lot of innovation happening in that space. For example, a lot of people are building these materials, which you can wear as a cloth. And imagine now if I make you that material, and let's say it is snowing right now in Manhattan, as I don't know if it is snowing, but let's say if it is snowing, and you are really there using quantum tech, your avatar has transported you visually, but you cannot feel it, right? You cannot smell it. If you think
Yeah.
about it from an AI, we've been able to focus on few sensory items. And when I say that, we've been able to focus a lot on vision as a sensory. We've been focused a lot on our speech. And hearing.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but we've still not been able to focus on touch and
Smell.
taste and
Yeah.
taste, right? But there is innovation happening in that. Now if you bring all of that together, okay, if you, let's say, have a device which pushes the scent in your nose, which you can smell it. If you have something which it's like a pill or something which helps you taste, or using even air which helps you taste, right? They say, and helps you see. They say, right, you eat your food with eyes first, then with your tongue, and then with your stomach, right, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say if you just think about it from that, and then you can touch and feel. Let's say you can touch and feel the snow. why I'm giving you that uh, visual thinking or a future thinking, there are innovation happening in that space as we speak right now. Now, if you're wearing a suit, wearing an Apple Vision Pro headset, and you have some other devices which are around you, you don't need to go to Manhattan. I'm not deterring you not to go to
Yeah,
Manhattan,
yeah,
but
yeah.
sitting at
It's
confinement of that place where you
experiencing your
are,
own convenience.
yeah, you'll be able to see there and feel it and touch it and experience it. And not just you, everybody else. And I'm sure you've seen this movie, Ready Player One.
I
You have
have
seen
heard
that
of
one?
it.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, that's where the future is. That's how things are going to be. It's an unfortunate situation. I would still love to go to Manhattan. I'm
Yeah.
missing New York weather right now as we speak. I travel a lot. I've been to Manhattan
Yeah.
many times. So I'm missing that weather there. I'm missing walking in Manhattan Street in this beautiful weather when it is snowing, when it is cold. I love cold. So I would not want to be in that virtual space, so-called virtual space. But that's where the world is moving to. So yeah, since you spoke about multimodal, I know we went a little bit off track planning your entire New York trip, but that's where the future is going to be.
Yes, sir. Thank you for explaining it in such a unique way.
Sure.
So, earlier you said that you can't predict what changes that AI can bring into the future, but still there's a question that which industry will benefit the most with the inclusion of AI in it? Will it be healthcare, will it be finance, or will it be some other industry?
I would say there's none industry, not even a single industry, which is not going to benefit from AI.
Okay.
There's going to be leverage of AI. Yes, what's going to happen, Vanilla, is that some industries are going to be laggard and some industries are going to be at the forefront of adopting AI. So that's what we would see. But is there any industry where AI is not, even in a government institution, AI is going to be leveraged, for
Yeah.
example, and AI is already being leveraged. So even in our armed forces, there's already AI wars which have started happening, right? There are a lot of autonomous drones, there are autonomous robots which are being built and being spoken about, which can have a combat facility, right? So think about it, humans lives can be spared if drones or robots can be used in warfare, and it's already being spoken about. In fact, I spoke about this earlier last year, where a lot of there's lots happening in China and there's lots happening in US where AI is being leveraged to build these autonomous warfare items. So to answer your question, which industry is going to benefit the most? I would say everybody is going to be at the same level of leverage. It's just how they use it. Going back to
Yes.
that prompt engineering question which you had asked, how I use it versus how you use it,
The opposite.
we are all going to be uh, the best part which has happened in the last 1 decade. uh, AI and technology has come to be an equilibrium for everyone. If you think about it from a previous decade, people talk about Walmart using Google using analytics since 1990s.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
new, but it was only be there that was only available for few privileged folks. Today anybody can use
They can
AI,
access it.
anybody can use analytics, right? So it's come to an equilibrium where it's table stakes. Now how you use it for your own betterment or for the industry betterment or for your organization betterment, it's up to you.
Yes, sir. So, with this point, I would like to come to my next question. Everybody is accessible to AI these days, but we are also seeing negative impacts of it. We are seeing deepfake videos, we are seeing breach of security, privacy, and data. So, earlier, when I asked you this question about which industry will benefit the most using AI, there's also a consensus among the tech leaders about the safety of their clients, the safety of the people present in their company due to the integration of AI, and how can we can't say no to AI. It has become an integral part of our lives, but how do we safeguard our privacy? How do we safeguard our data and make sure that we are safe in general?
Yeah. Uh, First of being a point of being safe is verify that we need, as human beings, we need to start becoming verify every step and every action and everything we do. So build that skill of verification. And I'll give you examples of what I mean. And second thing is awareness. I will call this as an AV mindset, the awareness and the verification mindset. Uh, and I'll tell you why, and I'll give you a real example. Yesterday, my nephew came home, and we were having a conversation, and he said he's studying in data science, so he's aware. For example, he's also aware of the ramifications of AI as an
Yeah.
individual because he's studying it every day. And I'm sure you are more aware, you will be able to verify. But today, Vanilla, for example, you get a desperate call from a friend of yours. You know, uh, I don't know the name of your friends, but let's say a friend ABC calls you up and say, Vanilla, I have gone through an accident. I'm lying on the street. I have this person who will take me to the doctor, to the nearby hospital. He's asking for 10,000. Can you transfer 10,000 immediately to my account? I'll send you the WhatsApp. You
Yeah.
without thinking, what you will do is you will say, yes, I will do it. And you will go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot happening right now, for example, in a similar way. But if you were aware and you didn't verify it, if I was in your position, what I would do is,
Verify
I
it.
would verify it. Yeah.
Give the
And
phone to the other person and talk to
not
them.
not even that. I would try to call that person back again, my friend, for example. Okay. And I will tell them, hey, are you okay? I would talk to that person, whatever that call happened, I will disconnect, and then I will call that person again, my friend ABC again, and say, hey, are you fine? I just wanted to verify, is it really you or is it a machine talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I get scared. You spoke about my YouTube. I get scared. Today I have trained my own system. There is a system, it's called Descript, which I have trained. I was not even required today, for example. I could have had that system talk to you. That system will talk to you as if it's Anis talking to you. Audio, not video yet, but it will take it's I have trained that system to speak like me. It's my audio, like how uh, my voice is being heard by you. That system talks like Anis. So today, when I'm making so many YouTube videos and putting my content out, somebody can make a deep fake and send that video to my family, for example. Right?
Yes.
So I do get scared. Now, what I'm teaching my family and my children that, hey, you have to verify. For example, I'm talking about my nephew, his father is not aware about AI. He's not aware about technology. But he also got a call saying that one of his cousin had taken some money and he's in trouble and he needs to pay so that that cousin can come out of the trouble which he is in. He heard that calmly, as an example, my brother-in-law, and he, after the call got disconnected, he called up my his cousin and said, hey, I got a call, are you okay, is everything fine?
Yeah.
And he said, hey, I've not taken any loan, I'm not in trouble, it was a fake call. Yeah.
Awareness and
And
verification.
verification, right? So
Yeah.
this awareness and verification mindset needs to be developed. uh, Unfortunately, with every good there is bad. There
Yes,
is
sir.
always a yin and yang. Another reference or an analogy which I will give you is, if I give a syringe, for example, to a doctor versus to a terrorist versus to a policeman versus to a child, it's the same tool, it's a syringe. The
But it can
output
have
will be very
adverse
different,
effects. Yes.
or a positive effect also. For example, if I've given it to a doctor can save
We can
lives.
press it. Yeah.
But if I give it to a terrorist or a police can also save lives, as an example, with that syringe.
A baby
Their own
can hurt
lives,
themselves.
yeah. So there can be different outputs, right, with the same use of technology. So uh, we've got a tool, we just have to be careful in terms of how we use it also. So there are bad actors and there are good actors, and unfortunately we can't fight them, by having this awareness and verification mindset and not falling into that trap which we have.
That is such an interesting perspective because we tend to blame circumstances around us, saying that, they place so many challenges in front of us. But if we change our mindset and if we modify ourselves to get habituated to them, we can see much more better things. And
Yeah.
thank you, sir, for making us realize that. So, in our generation, as you said, that we were addicted to mobile phones, and even for you, like during bedtime stories, our grandmas would recite us bedtime stories. We didn't have YouTube channels making us sing songs and lullabies, but this generation is completely addicted to technology, and we can't blame them to their working parents. And children need some sort of entertainment, and even as we grow older, we tend to make friends with video games rather than people. Do you think AI can shift around this narrative? Or will it just continue with this narrative?
There's an interesting trend which I'm seeing right now, Vanilla. You if you think about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm sure you've read that or you have
Yes,
heard
sir.
about that, right?
Yes, sir. I've heard about it.
the the topmost is the Zen mode, right? Let's say
Yeah.
there is a Maslow hierarchy of a similar AI need, and you can Google it and you will see it. The topmost piece is completely uh, devoid of all technology. Like you're so fed up that you don't want to be around technology. So
Yeah.
today, for example, I'm seeing, and I have done it. For example, on my phone now, typically, my phones would be buzzing early on with all the stupid notifications we all had, right? Because we at least have not less than 30 apps on our phone, and each of those 30 apps are notorious to send at least one notification or two notifications every hour. My phone would have been buzzing by now, and I am wearing a smartwatch. My smartwatch will be buzzing with a lot of notifications. What I've done is I've stopped all those notifications. I've just completely disconnected those notifications, and it's just not me. And I see that I find uh, there is a restaurant now open which I know in Bombay, where you have to drop your phone into a box before you enter that restaurant, right? So
Yeah.
we are seeing more and more of these practices. I know a lot of people are resorting to mindfulness practices, meditations, and all of that. So to your answer your point, uh, many of us are realizing that we are being less humans with technology around us.
Yeah.
uh, for example, when I'm sleeping now, I would have my phone around me, like you said, I would be watching some videos on the phone before I go to sleep, and my phone will always be near my bed. Today, what we try to do, me and my wife, is we take all the, yes, we do have a television, we can't take that out of the room, but
Yeah.
whatever technology is there in the room which is portable, like phones or tablets or computers, we take all of them out and we keep it outside in a separate room.
That is good.
Yeah, so we don't even so it's been proven now that there is a lot of EMF, electronic magnetic field, which hampers your sleep, hampers your mental health, which you shouldn't have around you so much. So we take all the technology and we put it outside the room, as an example. So when you wake
Yes, sir.
up, as an example, most of us do, first thing is we'll try to find a mobile.
Yeah. Yeah.
As an example, forget about sleeping. The first thing you want to do is you are taking a look at your mobile. By the way, that's so harmful for your eyes. Looking at a screen immediately, you need your eyes to settle down and get accustomed to the light and the climate and everything. If you just in the darkness start scrolling and start looking at your phone, you're really having an issue with your eyes, and I have learned it the hard way. I have had a lot of eye issues for that, because of that. So I'm seeing a lot of that change happening in human beings, and with a lot of my friends and my family, as an example, where you're over technology. You just don't want technology around you. You're done with technology and you want to be focused on you being as a human being.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, that's what we are seeing more and more. I have taken my families for vacations where there is no mobile network, so we are forced to speak to each other. We are forced to connect with each other, and I've seen that being the most beautiful vacations we've ever had as a family.
Yes,
uh,
sir.
yeah, so I would just say that.
Yes, sir. That is interesting. Now, you're part of the AIM Council, and we students want to know how do we balance the academic learning about AI and its practical usage? Because in college, it gets hard with the curriculum in the 6 months of a semester to do labs and do theory, learning both in an equal way. So, can you give us some suggestions on how to balance that?
See, this concept of balance has completely destroyed by COVID, right? People used to talk about work life balance, personal and professional life balance, right? So,
Yes.
similarly, in academia and practical, right? Theory versus practical balance, which you're kind of talking about, it shouldn't be a concept of balance, as an example. Okay. And what I mean by that is, see, today, let me ask you, I'm sure you had history and geography as a subject in
Yes,
your
sir.
10th grade, right? You're in college right now, you don't have history and geography anymore, but you did have. How much do you remember of that?
I remember the important, not
20%?
every detail,
10%?
but
10%, 20%, right? Let's be
I
frank
would
with
say
each other.
30%. I was
Okay.
interested.
Okay. 30%, I'll give it to you.
Okay, so
Now, how can you practice or bring history and geography to practical things?
I can't. I can just use my knowledge and
You
make
might
sure.
only remember it, right,
Yeah.
from your past knowledge. Now, what I have seen some of the schools doing, for example, if they are teaching a child about history, like I was in Amritsar, for example, and Amritsar has a partition museum.
Okay.
Okay, many people don't know about the partition museum which is there in Amritsar. And I saw a school coming there, and school children coming there. They were probably in their 8th grade and ninth grade, and how the teacher was teaching them was not teaching them through books and all of that. They let them go through the museum and then said, take whatever notes you feel is there in the partition museum, learn what you is there, right, make your own notes,
Yeah.
right? So that's an example of balance you spoke about, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
we all have, even I now, naturally, in geography we learn about meteors and craters and all, we can't go there, right?
Yeah.
But our education system has to evolve. So it's not a fault of yours. I'm thinking about the education system. Our education system has to create that balance of theory and practical enough. Okay.
Yes.
For
Yes.
example, in a lecture of an hour, 30 minutes, or you should be provided a laptop in front of you or a desktop, where if somebody is teaching you technical concepts like in AI or in Python, you have real time, you're testing it out right there and then.
Yeah.
Because if you think about from a learning perspective, if you learn something verbally or in written, you still have not become good at it. The only way when you become good at it is when you start applying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes,
You
sir.
get better at it when you tell others, when you start teaching others.
Teaching others. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the process academia and education system has to leverage. Okay. So what I
Yes, sir.
mean by that is not only teaching, you have to teach so that the students can grasp the basics. Then you have the application, and then the third is you create a community where, Vanilla will come in today, talk about the benefits of Python and how she has used it in her one of her project.
Yeah.
The idea is not to teach a lot, but the idea is to teach few things but do it better.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So similarly,
Yes.
for as an advice, since you asked how can you balance, I would say you can learn everything. And the best part in AI, there are so many branches to this big tree,
Yeah.
which is AI.
Yes.
And you can build your career in any of those branches and really do good for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And that's why you use the word, Anis is jack of all. We all have to become jack of all but master of one or two.
Only one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be aware of everything, or you can become master of one or two, but you have to go deep into it. So you can learn everything, but then you start applying one or two areas which may be a big interest to you.
Yes, sir.
And and then start teaching it to others or start sharing your knowledge with others, which will help you get better.
Placement season in our college, and our seniors would love to know from you what projects can they have on their resume to make them stand out.
That's a very good question. And I go to many colleges. I've been to many colleges to hire people. I'm associated with this foundation called Reliance Foundation. I don't know many of you all have heard about Reliance Foundation or no, but basically Reliance Foundation gives scholarships to students. Okay. And as part of that scholarship process, they have to go through an evaluation process. And I'm part of that evaluation committee where we evaluate students why they should be getting scholarship versus somebody else should be getting the scholarship, as an example. So they go through an interview process, they have to submit a write up and all of that. So it's a very detailed process. And these scholarships are not small amount, they're pretty big amount scholarships. Okay. And I've been fascinated with some of the students, and this is an advice I tell many of the students, right? And I have built a career development framework where I speak about that. It's not just projects. It's not just about doing technical projects. How many of you have gone to have taken up a job, let's say on a Saturday or a Sunday, or even let's say even in your Diwali vacation, to learn about something? For example, there is an exhibition happening nearby your house or in your city. Go and volunteer there.
Yeah.
Okay, if there is an NGO, go ahead and volunteer there.
Yes.
Okay, there is a Kirana store near your house. Okay, go ahead and evaluate how can technology be leveraged in that Kirana store and work. Try to sell your
Yes.
technology. Try to sell your software and tell them, hey, if you have a phone and if I build something for you, what will make your life easy?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Interesting.
so
We
it is,
actually did that.
yeah. So the reason why I'm sharing all these, this is not college determined.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
if you go to a Kirana store concept of technology, you will have to learn how to sell better. You will have to
Yes, sir.
learn how to negotiate better. You will have to learn how to do project management. You will be learning customer relationship skills. This is nothing to do with project.
Yes, sir. It's all about
You're
experience.
getting my point?
Yes,
It's
sir.
and it's that if I want to hire Vanilla, I will be looking at what have you done more than just technical projects. I would rather not hire you if you've just done that, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, if you tell
Yeah.
me I went on my own and sourced a internship, you get +1 points from me rather than waiting for college to give you internship.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are few things which I would recommend for any student to do. And more importantly, there are few things which I spoke about knowledge. How many teachings have you done? Like, have you gone ahead and taught a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old about the benefits of AI? Have you gone ahead and uh, given a lecture to 8th grader on Python? That will show me that you're good at it, because if you can teach others, you are an expert.
Yes.
These are the kind of projects I would love to see on people's profiles.
Yes, sir. So we thank you so much for your time, and you generously obliged us when our technical issue occurred, and we are in awe of everything you do, and especially me because this is my first time having a podcast with a luminary tech vision like you. And I thank you great heartedly for being a part of this podcast, and we hope to have conversations with you again. And as you mentioned earlier that you were planning to write a book on prompt engineering when you have the free time, and I'm eagerly waiting for that book. And thank you for inspiring us as AI enthusiasts to do something that we want to do. And thank you for creating those amazing videos on YouTube that we can watch and get inspired from. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanilla, for and to your team for having me. I would just leave you all with a thought: don't stop being a child, because children are curious, they're carefree, and I still try to be a child even at this age, because that curiosity and having that fun attitude really helps me be my own, be me as I want to be. So yeah, congratulations and best of luck on this podcast.